This is Kristen Coles. I'm coding every day until I become a web developer. All right. Forgot the clap. I did not call you Malachi. All right. All right. So let's get some studying in today before we get our day started. So probably like a 2-hour study session now, then do some stuff throughout the day, and then another stream at night. And we are joined today by Malachi. Hello there. How are you, sir? Soon a bath is in your future. Do you feel it? Do you feel that the bath is in your future? Hello. Acrylia. We're doing 2 streams a day. That other stream started yesterday and ended. So now I'm doing, because the goal is 4 hours or more every day. We're studying. So we will. I'm glad that you joined us. I know you have fun. I know you have fun in the stream yesterday. I told you should have been came in. I told you. We be learning and stuff. And doing all different. I told myself I was going to work on a project for 2 hours today, but time constraints seem to be an issue. Is today your first day on the job? Okay. Is today your first day at your new job, or what? Do you have school today or something? Or you can't dedicate 2 hours? You can't give it 1 hour, homie? No, but course readings occupy a lot of time. I'm surprised you're not using AI or some type of thing to like. Oh, okay. It takes some time to onboard. It takes some time to onboard a new schedule. You know, like usually before every stream, and not these morning streams, but the evening streams, I go for a run and I do some exercise. I did, but I prefer to learn things in earnest. Hey, can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that. Let's see where we are. So yesterday we wrote. Okay, let me see. I wrote this down, so let me put it right here. That's fair though, because that's how I was when I was doing my graduate work. I was like, I want to read all of this, and then towards the end, I was like, oh, I don't know about this one. I don't know. There's a lot of reading. I became a professional skimmer. Well, I didn't really skim. I would try to find more entertaining ways of learning the stuff, and I would go from there. Boy, you are not getting up here. I'm trying to study. I can't have you right there. Go. Go, Malachi. Go. Puppy dog guys don't work on me. They don't. They do not. All right, let's see. Where were we? I should have left a note. Okay, I think we were on the hero container. All right, let's see. So I think we have, let's see. So I did the nav bar. Hold on. Main. Let's just focus on the header. image class nav logo. I gotta remember to put it. I don't know if you need to know this, but when you upload to GitHub pages, please remember to put periods in front of your links. Even it's crazy. I simply check my Git logs to see what I last committed. See, that's why you're a professional, and I'm real hood with it. I like to leave comments in the code. I don't even know what the GitHub logs look like. Are those where the commit messages go? Because I'm always like commit M, and then that message just floats off into the. Please tell me y'all call it logo. Healthy recipe finder. There we go. Bam. We're gonna put alt text. We're gonna say company logo. Control plus. Are you saying that I could do it in VS Code? I'll do that later. Okay, so now what I think we want to do is just go ahead and let me see. I think I put the nav needs to be in a different type of container, but for now I'm just gonna say class container. Git has wide integration with VSC. I'm gonna say container. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me think about this. Why don't I just put the class of container LG on the body? Is that proper? No, it's not proper. Okay. Container LG, and then we're gonna put a class of for now container MD. All right. Yo, Wagwanski. What's up, Doc? What's up, Doc? You shouldn't even need to really install anything either if you've already been using the commands. Oh, okay. I'll do that later. All right, so we got our healthy recipe finder, and I think we have our header. So I wonder how I'm gonna do this. So we have our header, I think, and everything's in the nav. So the first thing I want to do is what is, oh yeah, we did that yesterday on stream. I'm gonna take nav and I'm gonna say border 1 pixel solid red. How's it going, Doc? Okay, then I'm going to say display flex. So it already does a row. We're gonna say justify content center. Well, actually, justify content needs to be let's see. That's good. It needs to be space between. So let's see. All right, that looks about right, but we're gonna do, let's try space around. Yeah, space around is a little bit better. All right. Why don't you use Tailwind CSS and Daisy UI? You know what? Just because you said that, I'll use it. All right. So now we have our nav ul display flex. Do I need to justify content? Justify content center? Listen, we do every stream. I shit you not. Every stream they say the same thing. Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? No, I could have sworn I have it in the description. So if I scroll down in the description, I think it says, do you plan on learning a framework? Right here. It says, do you plan on learning a framework? And I said, yes, React.js and Tailwind. Do you plan on learning a framework? Do I have anything else? See, it's all right here. So I guess I need to refine that. So, you know. What's up, Easy? 10,001. All right. So in our Figma file, it looks like this, right? Let's do align item center. All right. And I feel like this needs to be a little bit smaller. It's the nav. It's a 260 nav logo. I could have sworn I just called it logo with 260 pixels. So, and then on the nav UL, we'll add a gap of 1 rem. And then we need to, I thought it already did it, but I guess I'm gonna just do it here. Does YouTube support auto responses? We could definitely have something with use Tailwind as wildcard trigger. Somebody was telling me about something called Nightbot, and it has commands. So that's that. I just need to go question, which part of learning web dev do you enjoy the most? The part that I enjoy the most is I like figuring out new projects, and I like learning the new things and implementing them. Like I've learned a new JavaScript concept. So this week is the map on arrays, and then filter on arrays, and then I implement that into a project. And then what was also cool was that when I stream it, I'm learning in real time, so then I have people that chime in. So there's a whole thing called learning in public. That's a big thing. Well, it helps a lot. So I'm gonna just put I forgot. And then because I think with the UL and the OL, there's a text decoration none. I think that's what we do. No. What is it? Does anybody know what it is? It's text. No, it's list style none. There we go. And it removes the dots. It removes the dots. Okay. Are y'all ready for something? Are y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for what I'm about to do? The infamous how to how to center a div. I'm gonna show y'all right now how you do it. Let's see. So we're gonna do margin 0 auto. Bam, centered. Look at that. Look at that. Let me see where my header. It says, hold on. Border 1 pixel solid blue. Okay, so yeah, we got that right. What motivates you to publish your learning journey? Let's go for the more spiritual reasons first. Number one, we live in an age where consistency is extremely difficult, and people say that they want to do things and they never do them. And if you actually want to hi, quick note for using margin 0 auto, the element must be block level or take 100% width to work. The element must be block level or take 100% width to work. It's working, homie. See? The header is 100% width. Right? And we have this that has a, but yeah, you're right. Okay, what motivates you to publish your learning journey? I like the feedback. I like that it makes me stay consistent because number one, I'll tell you this, if I didn't post, people would like immediately get into my inbox and tell me, hello, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you gonna do something? Are you gonna do it? You know? And so I think posting a learning journey is important. It holds me accountable. I hold myself accountable. And then I have a record of what I'm doing. And so, and it feels good. It feels good to post every day. You'll see a lot of people who post every day talk about how it's changed their relationship with learning. I'll probably expand on that later. Go ahead and join the Discord. Let me send you an invite. I don't know if you're already in the Discord, but and then we're gonna pin that message. So that's the Discord. Y'all can join the Discord. Another stream. Yes, another stream. Okay, so more practical reasons. The more practical reasons. I'll give y'all the more practical reason as to why I do this. This is a resume. What is your objective? You want a full stack position or a front end position? Hold on. So the practical reason is that this is a resume, and there's no way people are going to, if I put this on a resume and they see this, there's no way they're going to be like, oh, this person doesn't do work. You know what I mean? So, and that's how one of our other friends got his job recently. He did 100 days worth of this, and after you graduate, he got a job. What is your objective? You want a full stack position or front end? I think I would start, honestly, anything. Watch this. I like how you if we scroll down what are you trying to become? A front-end web developer? What theme are you using for VS Code? See, Acrylia, where today is the day I'm gonna set up Nightbot because I get that. This is Aura Dark soft text. Aura Dark. Aura. Oh my God. All right. Okay. So now, so we got, why doesn't this look, it's centered, but something about this doesn't seem right. Is there an align content? No, that doesn't work. I think that's for something else. I don't even know why I just tried that. Oh, but these colorful things like the red, you'll see me use blue comments. That's another. That's a whole nother thing. You know what? I'm just gonna do justify content center because I learned this from Taylor. I mean, it makes sense. Um, and then I'm gonna take all the nav's children. I'm going to give them a width of 100%. Then I'm just gonna gap of uh, 2 rem or something like that. No, that's incorrect. It'd be different if I had these in the div. Why don't I just let's just do space between. Space between is fine because it's already, yeah, that works. But I don't like how this is way more centered. Why isn't this centered? Um, oh, duh. Did that work? Nope. I think it's justify self center. Or is it align self center? Hold on. While learning web dev, have you encountered other knowledge that is not web dev but is interesting that you want to learn later on? Um, I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, I want to learn how to network better. Borders, 1 pixel solid, 1 pixel solid green. And that's the UL. Nav ULLI. How do we? Oh, oh. Hold on, I already got a line item center. What the hell? It still has margins. Usually I put this in a div and call it a day. This is my first time not putting these elements into divs. The center element still, that's not margin, that's gap. Hold up, but why isn't it in the center of the UL? just gonna stare at me all day, Malachi? I've never run into. What are you saying 100% margin? Like, where's the margin? Now, mind you, I'm trying to censor these LI inside of the UL. I just did that. Remember? I already did it, and then I already did that. And I erased it. Oh no. So we got display inline. Make the list items inline instead of default block. This will not force breaks after the flow. Okay, yeah, we're not about to do all that. So what we're gonna do, because apparently this is a known issue, we will keep all of that. Go back to the HTML. We have, and I should have put it in nav links. So we have a nav links. So we're gonna say, oh, where are we? Dot nav links display flex, specify content center, align items center. And then we are going to so we got that in green. We don't need the UL. It's the first time I've run into this issue. So now we got the nav links, and we put it on display flex, and everything that's in there should be censored. So if we do so that is censored, but this isn't censored. I have never run into this problem before. I've never run into this issue before. I don't know. There's something I'm doing incorrect. Let's see. Yeah, I know I can add gap, but that's not the because when gap is not the problem. Because I can add gap. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, so we got the links. Let's make. I am learning JavaScript since 2 weeks. What are you doing? Losing my mind. It's crazy how I've been doing this for months and I've never ran into this issue before. It's okay. Oh. Oops. All right. Let's see if we can fix it now. Nope. Wow. Why, why does it have padding on it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now somebody tell me why the UL have padding on it? Why why did the UL have padding on it? Why? Why was that a thing? That was the problem. And it literally said I had a bad experience with help desk. I had an extremely hard first help desk role. All right, so that's fixed. It had padding. That was a problem. All right, my God. But I wouldn't mind doing help desk again. Let me. All right, let's see. Why did the UL have padding on it? Anyway, let's just move on with our lives. Okay, so these are, the color is neutral 900. So these nav links have a color of neutral 900. So color, and we already created our, so we have a color of neutral 900, and then we're just gonna go to the body and we're gonna say font family default font, and then we're going to this has a class of but I had an amazing boss. I'm in a Discord with my boss. Well, my ex-boss. So that was a silver lining to that experience. Great boss. So hold on. Why isn't it telling me the text preset 7? Text preset 7. So we are going to, I'm gonna just apply to the text preset 7, and then this button is text preset 5. And we are padding left and right of top and bottom is 12, left and right is 16. All right. So I'm gonna say nav button. I think that was padding. The padding for top and bottom, so it's 12 and 16. Padding 12 pixels, 16 pixels. But like I said, that boss was an amazing boss, man. I put him on all my references. I talked to him the other day, actually. Like, we're in a Discord together. Hold on, I'll show y'all the Discord. Right here. This is a Discord me and my ex-boss are in. And some other people from that job. I feel like I should never show that Discord. This should be secret, but whatever. He was actually in stream the other day. he said something. He does a lot of racing content. I should link his let me ask him. No, it was man, listen, it was I knew you were still doing it. No, it was just the padding. That was it. It just had imaginary padding somewhere, and I don't know why. It just had padding on it. It had padding 40 on the sometimes I feel like somebody's like hacking me in real time. Like I've never seen it where I created a UL and it had padding randomly. I don't know if you saw me fix it. All right. Yeah, but usually, yes, I know. But okay, so number one, it had padding. Number two, I forgot to use my CSS reset. So usually I start my CSS reset way at the top and I'll do this right here. And I didn't have, and usually I put like padding 0, margin 0. But your boy been lazy. I've been lazy. I've been a lazy man. Border radius. But you know what? Thank you, Acrylia. You know, set me straight, keep me humble. Browse. So we got the nav button, and then we want a border radius of 10 pixels. So we got a border radius of 10 pixels. And then we're gonna say, I wonder what happens if we do appearance none on a button. Nothing. So why don't we do border none? So it takes off the border, and let's remove this right here. And then let's remove this blue. Oh, right here. Let's just comment this out. Hold on, I forgot to do something. Because the header, man, are you gonna tell me what it is, or are you just gonna make me like search for it? It's not gonna tell me. Okay. Padding 2060. All right. Padding 20 pixels, 60 pixels. All right, there we go. And then for the browse recipes, color neutral 900. So we go to the button and we have color. No, that's the background color. And then let's see what we put for is that a different type of white? No, it's just neutral 900. Neutral 0, which is just white. All right. And then on the nav links, yes, this is a front-end mentor challenge. .nav links li hover. On hover we want a can we do border bottom of 1 pixel solid? Is that what that looks like? No. It's a little bit thicker than that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. But in the Figma file, this has rounded corners. Can we give a border rounded color corners? I didn't know we could do a border. I didn't know this was a thing. Look at that. Bottom, border bottom left radius. Oh. How long have we been streaming? 47 minutes. Alright. So let's try that new thing that we learned just now. Thanks to AI. So on hover. Ooh, I don't like that. See how it's moving like that? I don't like that. So I wonder, can we do is there such thing as an outline bottom? No. All right, let's see. But beyond that, no, I don't, Philip Thomas. But thank you for asking that wonderful question, and I hope that I answered it as kindly as possible. Um, I want you to know that however you read all caps has nothing to do with me, but all to do with your interpretation of caps. I said that as gently and as nicely as I could. All right. So it's weird how we're just running into all these little things today. Why don't I just do an outline? Let's see what happens when I do outline. So if I do outline, it won't move them, right? But I remember there was a trick to make this work. No. Outline 0 is not the thing. But I get what you're saying. So the thing is, we already got it working. Watch. We got it working. So on hover, it puts this thing at the bottom. But the problem is that the boredom bottom moves the LI up. What? Did it do it with 1 pixel? Yeah, it does it with all of them. I mean, it doesn't look too bad if it was like a transition. Like I could make it look, but I just don't want it to do this. Hmm. I wonder, could I also do border top? Let's see something. Could I say border? I wonder, could I just put a transparent border? Border 1 pixel, no, 3 pixel solid, and then can I do a transparent color? Let's see something. And then I just make it completely transparent. Oh, look, that worked. But it didn't. Now it's moving them from side to side. All right, that's the 1 hour for my project. Completed all the required parts of my room. I think tomorrow I'm going to add more utility classes. That's good. And while you were successfully doing that, I was over here like losing my mind. Okay, let me think. There has to be something that's... Why is today this giving me so many problems? That's so weird, man. I usually never have these problems. So I remove the padding, it shifts it again. Move this. We don't need that anymore for whatever reason. Or maybe we do. This, we don't need this. The flashbacks I had to Tailwind when I created a class called Flex Row. That is so weird that hover on LI moving element. Here we go. Somebody already went through this. Border bottom 3 pixel solid transparent. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I thought of it backwards. I was like, I'll just put a border around the whole thing. But what I should have done, so I was on the right track. So what I should have done is border 1 3 pixels solid and transparent. How you got into coding and why? I ask every program. Because I like it. It's something I kept coming back to. It's something that I kept coming back to, and look how long I can do it. Some people can't, you know, I like it. Sometimes it's as easy as that. Oh man, don't. It's still moving it. There's something I'm not thinking of this correctly. There's something I'm not thinking about this in the right way. Because this is, if it already, no, oh, wrong. Oh, I get it. Dot nav links li. Bam. Bam. Fixed. Border bottom left radius. Let's go with 1 rem. Does that change it? Wow, that's crazy. That's not what I wanted. They'll never know, just did it for the green square. They'll never know. I'm a full stack developer in Python as backend. Are you new? Yes. Also, be careful when you keep adding makeshift solutions. Technical debt climbs very quickly. The flashbacks I had. I am not adding makeshift solutions. These are real world problems. And you're just a hater. Did you know that? Did you know that you were a hater? Why is this? The things I'm going through to get these things correct is ridiculous. I'm gonna just Google it. So it does this, but that's not what I want. I bet there's already an asset in here for that. Channels like these are available to all experience levels, but the primary audience is other. No, I wouldn't say the primary audience is beginner. It's everybody. Keep it up, man. You're going to love it one day when you learn backend and databases. I like front end though. Welcome to the stream. He's aiming for front end, not full stack. I mean, one day maybe I'll like back end, but I don't know if I'll actually like it. But I do like front end. I think if I like back end, because I already did some PHP. All right. Well, I didn't really, the front end hate is real, man. So we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna move on with our lives. I think I add the transition. All right. So we're just gonna move on with our lives for now. And then let's see, were there any hover effects? So there's a hover effect on this. Okay. So nav links. So we got the nav button hover, and when it hovers, it is a background color of, hold on, what? I don't have, or well, focusing on Java as backend. Located, I might end up learning Java because it seems like a lot of people getting jobs with Java. Whatever works. Whatever works, homie. 900, 600, 300, 200, 100. And then we have a hover, and it's telling me, it didn't even ask me to make this. See, this wasn't even in the design system. There's no, oh, I think they meant 600. Let's go with that. Or maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I don't know. I'm gonna put 600. At least half of the postings I see want people who use Java, Spring Boot, etc. Yeah, that's what I've seen too. Nav button hover. We have a background color of var neutral 600. You said you were coming back to Texas, right, Acrylian? Oh, my bad if I'm putting your business out there. But because I was about to say they have a. Let's do a transition. Let's keep all the transitions. Because I don't know if you looked at the job market in Houston. Border transition. Background. Cool. Okay. Do you think I should use? Hold on. Didn't you just say you were? Didn't you just say you're a full stack developer? You said I am a full stack developer, right? To lip to me, you say you are a full stack developer, and then right here you say, do you think I should use ChatGPT for research rather than just use a tool to do? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Why you always lying? Alright. Moving on with our lives. So we got that transition, background colors. I don't care. How you gonna say you a full and then ask that type? That's the foolishness. I don't deal with that. They got you know who deals with that? There was the person who inspired me to start doing this. She's nice and kind, and she will be like, oh, you know, she doesn't want to censor people and everything. Nah, I'm not about to handle. I'm not about to deal with foolishness. Don't come up in here talking about BS. I don't. I really don't care for it, and I don't have to tolerate it. I won't tolerate the disrespect. All right. Is that all we need to do with this? Okay, so we got the hover effects for recipes. So on hover and on active. Okay, all right, cool. So on active. I'm telling you, my favorite quote, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite quote. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. It is a famous quote by Dr. Maya Angelou. It means you should trust someone's initial actions and behaviors as indicators of their true character rather than ignoring red flags or hoping they'll change. It's about recognizing their genuine self, good or bad, the first time they reveal it to avoid repeated hurt or disappointment, as seen in Oprah Winfrey's mentorship. Then it's a mix of saving money and trying to fix my credit. First goal was getting that job. If all you have is student loans, your credit should be, it'll be all right. People know, people are lenient with student loans. He can't. International permit. Oh, so you wanna work outside of? Hold on, I'm confused. Oh my god. Oh. Oh. Okay, you just a big spender, big money spender. So we have our li.nav links li. There's an active, right? Or is it, do we call it focus? Or is it, oh yeah, it's right there. So when it's on the current page, okay, I'll just do that later. Hover, and then we have focus. So all focus elements in most companies, you can give it a class of active or something on the li. Yeah, I just did. It didn't do the thing, but it's okay. I think what I'm gonna do is, so in the Figma file, it's talking about when we are focused on those things, we want a, if it'll let me select it, dang. It won't even let me select the stroke that's on it. Oh wait, low key, I can use that. It won't let me select the stroke on it. All right, well, we already know what color it is though, so it's neutral 900. So we're gonna say on the li focus, we're going to, because I'm assuming this is a list item too. On the li and button focus, let's just focus on li and buttons first. do I put this? Damn. I'm gonna just put it right here. Li button, Li focus, button focus, border 3 pixel solid. And then I think if we go and we go to like this type of thing, then we go to, okay, so the active is there, the active is working, but we need focus. The focus is orange. Why is the focus orange? Nah. So if we refresh and then we go, oh, is that how it is on here too? That's interesting. We'll come back to that. I want to move on. All right. And then of course they saying we gotta make it responsive. So let's see. So when it's responsive, the links go away. The links go away, and the breakpoint of that is 768. So at 768, the links go away, and then we do that. I can do that with JavaScript. Why don't we do it with JavaScript? I know I can do it with a media query, but you know, I just want to use JavaScript. Is that so bad? Is that so bad, man? All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna say, I think it's window dot add event listener. No. There's something else that we do. It's on window change. It's a window resize event. Yeah. And then we can check the width of the window itself. So we say resize, and then we put the function here. Well, whatever. I'm not sure if we need to do prevent default, but I'll just comment that out. And then we will say if window dot width, the inner width returns the interior width of the window in pixels, that is the width of the window's layout. The outer width, read only property returns the width, the outside of the browser window. The outside, so window dot inner width, is it greater than or less than or equal to 768 pixels. I wonder, does enter with return a string, or oh, it's just a number? Okay. Then we will say we will do this, that, and then we'll just put null right here. So let's go ahead and test that. You said, oh dear, Acrylia. I've done this before. So we're gonna go to our console and when we resize, okay, you see how it says that? So once we get to 768, hold on, can you see it? So once we get to 768, hold on, dang, it's not doing it. So we are at 809, 760. It should start saying that. It was doing it before. Hold on. We're not out here using ternaries for the hell of it. We out here using ternaries because it works. Hold on, why isn't it doing it anymore? Okay, there we go. That's weird. Why doesn't it always do it? Because it was doing it multiple times at first and then it stopped doing it. Alright. So what we're going to do is we have a class that we're going to add to the UL. So first we're going to get the, what did I call it? We're going to take this entire div and we're going to hide it. Okay. So first we're going to get the nav. We're going to say const nav links div equals document dot query selector, and we are going to get, it is called nav links, I believe. Let's check again because I'm always double checking. So it is called nav links, and then we are going to say nav links div dot class list dot add, and I think it was hide me. We just out here doing ternaries. Class, yeah, hide me. Let's get rid of these readmes. Hide me, and then if not, we're gonna do nav links div dot class list dot remove hide me. All right, so let's see if that works. See, it should be doing it, but sometimes it doesn't. It's weird. Sometimes the resize works, sometimes it doesn't. That is so weird. Why is it doing that, man? Okay, let's just start this over. Oops, wrong. Let's go to the index.html, and I know the script is right here. This is the script. So we go to inspect element, go to console, we go to 50. Let's go to 50%. What is going on, man? All right, let's try this again. For some reason, low-key, if you're going to be using JS to handle it, wouldn't it be better to simply do element.style.display equal none rather than having an extra utility? I don't know. I mean, I think you can do both. Because I like to use, the reason I like to have this utility is because I could just go, I like randomly when I'm working on these things, I could just be like, see, here's this button, hide me, and it's gone. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So he's right. Yeah. 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 All right. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Okay. So we see the inner width is doing its thing, right? Okay. So I don't know who you are. Nunya. I am in the event, Acrylia. I just did it. This is the same thing as what you said. Wouldn't it be better to simply do element.style.display equal none? Yeah, you see it. Yeah, it seems to be correct. So we could see it's working, right? Hold on, something's not right. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's because do you see this down here? This isn't representative of this. This width isn't what it is here. No, yeah, the property is updating, but hold up. The width here it says 407. Yeah, it usually doesn't do this. That's the weird thing. Usually it's pretty on point. It's changing though, but it's just not doing right. That's weird. That is very odd. I mean, it worked. Yeah, it's an issue with the dev tool. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go ahead and close Opera, open Opera again, Get rid of that port. Go to index.html. Go live. Try this again. Go to console. It's still not working. Go to Chrome. Okay, Chrome is doing it right. No, Chrome is not doing it right. When it first loaded, it was doing it right. Okay, so if we... You know what I think it is? I think it's this. Because on another project, I did something completely different. No, it's something wrong with inner width. There's another thing we can do to check the width of the actual window. There's something else. I remember I did it in another... Let me see. Which project did I do that with, man? I'm gonna have to go through... It's not always about the final product. It's also about learning. There we go. And it will be in the final thing. What are you talking about? Because well, window.screen.width. It's this. So I found it. Then do it. I found it. So it's window.screen.width. Window. See, I told you. So window. So let's just hide. Let's just go ahead and hide this right quick. And we're gonna do window.screen.width. We're gonna console.log that. And we are going to go back to Google Chrome. And if we refresh, now it's working. Now it's working. All right, so now if we do window.enter, we're going to do window.screen.width. So if we do that, hold on, the button is do 50%. Hold on, why is that not showing everything? Okay, anyway. So it disappears. The whole point of it was that it disappears. All right. Bam. What I want to do is I want to go to our what if you full screen the browser with the other way? What you mean? What do you mean by that? Okay, so then all right. Let me see. Where did I set the width of? I think it was container LG. Hmm. All right. Why does it do that little jump? Oh, I already know why. Okay. So anyway. All right. Let me take a little break. Come here. 10-minute break. high, high, high key Vitesse dark. Might be peak. Do it. Do the Vitesse dark. Welcome, Aubrey. Welcome, Easy. Oh, they're doing Mentor of the Year stuff. That's cool. It's weird how it. I'm sorry. It's weird how it snaps. Man, don't suggest Gemini to me. Do you think CSS or JS was harder for you to learn? CSS. CSS. 100% CSS. CSS is way harder than JavaScript. And it is. JavaScript was way easier to understand. I feel like I feel I don't know. I know I can't be the only one who feels that way. There is 1 million different possibilities with CSS. With JS, there are usually one or two. Yeah, with JS, you go online. You're like, okay, there's one. Like for example, we CSS is way harder than JS. Is certainly a take. It's I think it's a I think a lot of people feel that way because we were on stream when we just looked at a course where it says CSS for JavaScript developers. So obvious, so there's a lot of people who have issues with CSS. Like I just ran into something I've never ran into, and I'm 30 in. Hold on, how many repositories do I have open? How many times have I attempted to? Hold on, let me see. So we're in GitHub. So I'm 37 repositories deep, with most of them being CSS, and I just ran into a CSS problem for the first time. A CSS problem that I never saw ever, and for some reason there was padding right. There was padding added to a UL. That's never like I've never ran into that issue. It's stuff like that, and I'm sitting here wondering what's going on. Whereas we just had a problem with JavaScript, right? We just had an issue where we were like, okay, well, we're gonna look at the inner width, and I was like, okay, we see that the inner width is working. We see that it's console.logging, but something's not right. I'm like, oh, okay, I remember. There's literally one other way to do this, and then we found it. It was window.screen.width. Like, imagine JS would be easier if the most you'll be doing is front end. So yes, the depth of CS would be easier in that case. Hold on. Like I imagine JS would be easier if the most you'll be doing is front end. So yes, the depth of CS would be easier in that case. Let's see what backend JavaScript looks like. y'all be real elitist when it comes. CSS feels harder because it's illogical, but to say CSS is harder than JS is kind of rage bait. I don't think it's rage bait. I don't think. I mean, for me personally, when I get into JavaScript, I'm not having as many problems in JavaScript as I'm having with CSS. Most of my issues, look at the amount of time it took me to fix that unordered list problem compared to the time it took me to finish that screen width problem. Let's see what Node.js looks like. So we have the name of the file, we have the type of characters in the file, and then we have a function. If error, okay. I think we have a tendency to say there's this stereotype that things are harder in this particular area than they are in this other area. But what I see most of the time is a lot of people who are back end get completely frustrated with something that is deemed easier. So chill out, chill out. So there's this idea that front end is easier, but everybody hates doing it. Well, maybe it's because it's illogical. That's what they say. But I don't know. I don't like to. I don't like to. See, I don't like to get into these need, and that's why I had left that other server because I was like, there's these needless wars of which language is better. It's like this needless talk about which one is better, which language is better, why you shouldn't be using this, why you shouldn't be using that, how back end is this and front end is this, and blah 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 blah. It's all complex. It doesn't really matter. Whatever. I think that's not even worth. Yeah, that's not worth commenting on. Why are you looking at me like that? You getting your scratches in? What you want? What? Why are you just staring at me? See, and the first thing they talk about is inner width. Oh, it's right here. Screen. Oh, you don't need the window dot. You can just write screen. Didn't know that. Modern front end is a mess with changing libraries day after day. Even the hard part of front end is managing logic, also performance. Doing CSS is the easiest part, in my opinion. Again, I'm in this camp where I just don't think it's even worth. It's just not, it's this endless conversation about what's harder and what's more difficult and this and that and that and this, and I don't see the point in um trying to figure out which one is more difficult and which one is harder. And good morning, Fabs. What's up, Fabs? Fabs from Kenya. I think it's kind of irrelevant because every profession has their difficulties, and every discipline has its difficulties. And but it's like it's kind of it's very it's like, what is the point of, it's like you don't see doctors arguing, well, this particular part of medicine is harder than this other part of medicine. There's not this ongoing, I'm sorry, I apologize, I'm sorry, Fabs. Let's be clear, if somebody wants to find you, they would. uh um so, like, you don't see other professions like in like electricians or firefighters or people who work on planes or this or that. You don't see, well, that's fair. You don't see them talking about, oh, well, this is harder, or this is this, or this is that, or that is. But it's like in this field, it's always like, oh, well, back end is harder, or front end is harder, or this language, or that language, or this or that or that. Who gives a damn? Who really cares? Like, it's all complex in its own way. And so arguing that, what is the goal of that? What is the goal of determining? I think after you have a lot of experience, yeah, CSS may be easier after a while. But my question was, what was harder to learn? And it's all an opinion either way. Yeah, no, no, no. I'm just speaking. I'm not commenting on what you specifically said. It's just this. Since I've started programming heavily, and I enter these discords, I notice that there's this ongoing discourse regarding what is harder and what is easier, and what is going on in the back end and what's going on in the front end, and why don't you use this framework, and why don't you use that, and blah 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 blah, womp womp womp, womp 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 womp, womp womp womp. I'm like, okay. And 9 times out of 10, it's the common theme among programmers. Like, regardless of if you're in game dev, if you're making, like, I don't know, fun little battle bots, the debate is stupid. I don't like it too. The most difficult thing in programming is thinking with your head. When people start doing this more, they will become good at programming. What's the common thread among all people in tech? The inability to finish things. The picking up of a project and never finishing that thing and just putting it there. The inability to fully actualize an idea. That, now, you see how we, programming is simply a means of using correct tool for the job. But you see how we go. We It's like this one big important thing in the middle, but we all fired about the things on the outside. But the one core issue among most people in tech when it comes to programming is this inability to actualize ideas, or not even, it's not even that they don't have the skill set to actualize the idea, to bring it into the world. It's just that they conjure up reasons why they can't do it, or why they shouldn't do it, or they feel like you have to do it. And hence is why I didn't automatically agree with the other guy who was like, "Why aren't you using Tailwind CSS?" As I don't deem your needs as something that qualifies to use. Mind you, when I'm talking about this, I'm just expressing my opinion. I'm not saying that anybody's right or wrong, and I'm not saying that it's not a valid point to bring up. But I'm just commenting on what I've observed. Um, 9 times out of 10, you get into these groups, and people start talking about, they start talking about, again, which language is better, which tool is better, what tools you should be using, blah 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 blah. 9 times out of 10, the majority of the people in the conversation are not finishing what they're starting. That's what we should be talking about. Why isn't it that people are finishing what they started? Second, why is it that people in programming don't love their craft? That's another thing. Think about that one. Why is it that because there's this argument that everybody's in it just for the money, and the money is good, but it's like the craftsmanship of programming. Nobody really likes it. Yeah, we got you. I'm just stating how I see things because it's useless 95% of the times. So let's see. That's one of the reasons I made my own server, because I was like, man, I am not about to be in these servers where everybody is talking about just oof, why aren't you using X? That's my response now is, hold on. I know this is an array method, but where is the at join copy concat? Where is the map and filter? Okay. Why the, okay, map and filter are array methods, but why don't I see them? Oh, here we go. Filter. I love this simple. This is beautiful. Creates a new array with every element in an array that passes a test. There we go. That is the best way. Beautiful. Simple. Now let's see what they say about map. Creates a new array with the result of calling a function for each array element. Simple to the point. Whoever wrote this knows what they're doing. Joins all elements of an array into a string. Perfect. I need to. Somebody's at the door. Somebody at the door? Hold on, y'all. This is Malachi. Malachi. I want to see Malachi. Malachi, you want to see the people? You want to see? Is it okay? All right. Right here. Look at that. Malachi was like, I was comfy. He's not. He is super, super happy all the time. I promise you. He's probably mad because I just moved him out of a comfortable position. He's like, what are you doing? There are use cases for each language / tool, and someone who can't recognize that cannot call themselves a proper. I seen a video recently of Primogen speaking on the best way to learn a new language, and one of his suggestions was reading the entire language's dictionary. When you say dictionary, do you mean like the docs? Oh, he was growling because I think somebody was outside. The docs? Oof. My God. I thought I hold on, let me see something. We're about to end the stream in like 2 minutes, by the way, because I try to do 2 hours. So do we have any questions? Do y'all need a link to the Discord? A link to the Discord. We're gonna add a link to the Discord. My dog. Link to the Discord. Then y'all can subscribe if you want to. See, what he really wants to do is nibble on my hand. I ain't trying to do all that because I don't want to have to wash my hands like 15 million times a day. All right. Welcome, Solix. And so that's the morning stream. I will be streaming low key. I might view programming entirely from a wannabe professional viewpoint since that's my end goal. There was a book before we leave. Let's look up that one book that people say that everybody should read. It's one of the books that I want to get. Is it stop? No. SCIP programming book. This one. This is the one I want. They say this is like it attacks. They say this is one of those books you need to read. Dang, it is expensive. There has to be a way to get this online. Oh my god, forcing dark mode did not work. Okay, anyway. Alright. I don't know. I think they say this is one of those books that you need to read. It's okay. They say this is one of the books that you need. This is a JavaScript version. The other version is supposed to be legendary. I think this is the whole book. I think the whole book is here. I think the whole book is online. Do I think reading is difficult? No. Reading is difficult if you don't read for fun. If you don't read for fun, you will find that reading is difficult. Not like reading words, but comprehending what you know. If you don't put any pressure on yourself when you're reading, it's not going to be difficult. The It's not that reading is difficult. It's just that people are hard on themselves when they read. Like there's this idea that you have to read very fast or whatever, but if you just take your time and reread, like I'll go back and reread. Let me see. So they split it into the JavaScript. All right. So anyway, I don't think it's an O'Reilly thing. I think it's another company that does it. It's this MIT Press. Here's the free version. And then there's a website called LibGen. If I find it, I'll give it to you. Okay. Do you want the JavaScript version or do you want the other version? Just let me know. Here's the link to this. It's the whole book. Um. So anyway, all right. That's that. I will stream later on today. All right. Bye. 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 Bye.